Coach, we know that Kobe and Wesley are back in Los Angeles. What are you going to do with this starting lineup?
Well, start Wayne, obviously, and I'm going to start Ryan.
What's the decision there? I know in the past you said that you liked Nick's role on the bench and maybe had thought about it, but is that it, just keeping that continuity there and then getting Ryan to add something to the starters?
Pretty much. And, I just like Ryan's length against Matisse. I think, he can match up, pretty well against him. I don't think he match him, obviously, in athleticism and speed, but he's smart enough to understand how to play him.
You played pretty well last night, of course, as we just went over with the different lineup. How do you try to establish some sort of continuity still with the guys that are out there in matchup with this Portland team?
Well, we still got to run the same things we've been doing, and we still got to emphasize the defensive end against this team. So nothing changes as far as that's concerned. I mean, obviously the biggest thing is we don't have that big time threat down the stretch when the game is on the line and when you're missing Kobe. So. With some, obviously missing Wesley as well because he's one of our better defenders on the perimeter too. So, guys just have to fill in.
Hey, what's the focus level for a Lillard versus an Aldridge versus Batum and Matthews on the wing? A lot of weapons here, but where do you start when you look at that scouting report for the Blazers?
Well, you got to start with Damian first. He's the head of the snake, so he kind of makes it all go. And then obviously, LA is a big part of that as well. So, you got to focus on those two guys as much as possible and see if you can keep the other guys to a minimum. And then, like I said, offensively, everybody just has to chip in.
Any more information yet on Wesley's hip situation?
Not as bad as we thought it could be. He could be back as early as the end of this week or early next week. So, I think at the beginning of talking to him and talking to Gary Vitti, our trainer, last night, we were thinking it was going to be a few weeks. But it looks like it could be a little less than a week.
With Portland down 2 centers, will you look to attack the basket more tonight?
That's the game plan. Try to go inside a little bit more. This team is great as far as taking you off the three-point line. So, when they do that, we got to be aggressive as trying to get to the basket as much as possible. So, yeah, that is a little bit part of the game plan.
Make fun. Did you sit out a game for rest purposes?
I never played 19 years, so I never set out for rest purposes. I played 14 years, so. I was 36, the same age as Kobe when he retired. When I retired, but like I said, I didn't start. When I was 17, 18 years old. So this is a totally different situation.
Is the fatigue pretty evident as his coach?
No, to be honest with you, our recent game plan on changing his minutes and his rest habits have been much better. I mean, he's been much fresher in the fourth quarter. The last 4 games, I think that we've done this, and so we're just going to stick to it. So, again, when I talked to him about, sitting out this game and just staying home, getting a couple of days of rest and getting ready for Wednesday, didn't have any problems with that. He told me again that he was going to do whatever I wanted him to do. So that was, again, a good sign. And again, the other night in the fourth quarter, it was the first time or the second time that I saw in this recent change that he really had his legs and everything up under him. So far what we're doing is working.